Hey, I'm green. Sorry, we were just talking about one of the finest songs in the history of music. Shut up, Kendra. I'm trying to talk about.
I can smell the contaminated air from here.
Yeah, alright. You're just gonna be incapacitated for the rest of the episode.
But it's not going to buy us much time. We have to get that thing off this ship. I'll hack the door for you when you get
Are you okay? Are you really okay? Maybe I shouldn't have started the episode. Oh gosh. You back with us?
I think so.
What we were talking about. There's this song. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's by I don't remember what is the band.
Crash Test Dummy.
Crash Test Dummies. And it's called Oh, you were right. We are back in medical.
Oh, yay.
I was wrong. It's called like just M's with dots in between them. And it has some of the finest lyric work in any.
recently too.
Uh,
We're not alone here after all.
and
Doesn't want you in this part of
it really tickles Caleb. Man, we don't even have to make jokes. We'll just laugh the whole episode at a joke we made off screen. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, look up Crash Test Dummies. You won't regret it. The video's pretty good too. Anyways, now you okay, Caleb?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good now. I think I'm good.
That's how you're gonna go, man. Like that.
I'm gonna die by laughter. That's.
I mean,
yeah.
which isn't a bad way to go. I mean, when you think about it. I mean, I don't know if there's a good way to go, but that's not bad.
I can think of a couple of good ways to go.
Well, you're getting ready to have a conversation, and then we were like, no, wait, this is gonna be good to talk about on the show. What was it?
It was about the fewer bosses. There aren't that many bosses in this game.
Yeah, there's only a few bosses in this game, but they're really good, and Caleb has very strong opinions about bosses, so
Yeah,
I'll
like
let you give your 2 cents first.
Thank you. Like, yeah, like I said, like Austin Green, you know who he is, said, one of the things that I really like in games are, I kind of nitpick a lot on, is bosses and music, but like, yeah, like, this game, oh jeez.
Yeah, these guys are kind of gross.
Which, if I'm right, he has an instant kill if you get too close to him, right?
I believe so.
But, what I was gonna say is, like, there's not that many bosses in this game, but of the few bosses that are in this game, they're really well designed and fun to fight.
Yeah, and they're all different.
And I like that, like, if you have a game and there's not that many bosses, that's fine with me, as long as the bosses are, like, fun and creative and, they make you think. Because one thing that I always like during boss fights, one thing I like the most is I always like to be on my toes. I like to keep moving, and that's why I play a lot of shoot-'em-ups and stuff like that, because those bosses, you are always moving, you're always thinking. There's never a
Oh, dang it. Sorry, go on.
there's never a moment where I'm like just sitting somewhere. Well, I say that, but then I remember the Bloody Gate where I just sat in the corner. But,
For the most part.
yeah, for the most part, the bosses in that game, you have to keep moving.
Yeah, I think the problem well, there's like 2 problems that you get a lot. Is like, one, there's like no boss fights, which is fine in certain games, but I think boss fights are really good at, like, I don't know, like capping off a segment of the game, like, okay, you made it through the entire level, you made it through all the lackeys, now you're gonna fight, you know, the boss.
You're also going to need a DNA
But-
sample of the alien tissue.
On other games, it feels like they're doing bosses just for the sake of having a boss.
Yeah.
And I think that's whenever you get, like, just boring bullet sponge bosses where it's like, this isn't harder, it's just taking longer to kill him than a normal enemy.
And yeah, that's like, it's called a false difficulty, or at least that's what I think it's called. That's what I call it. It's like, all they do, some people think that like, oh, I need to make a tough boss, I'll just give him a ton of health. Like, all they'll do is they'll like just give him a ton of health, and they think more health equals harder boss, but that's not true. That just makes the boss tedious and boring.
Yeah, it's like... I know you're not a big fan of, like, the Souls or, like, Bloodborne type of game, but...
I'm not saying I don't hate them.
They're not your kind of
Yeah,
game.
I can't really get into them.
But, one thing they're really good at is, you know, their bosses are obviously known for being really hard. And,
But they're well designed.
they're well designed and, like, they're always just hard enough. We'll let this guy talk.
Your fight for survival is admirable, but pointless.
Yeah, I'll take a large pepperoni pizza.
It almost makes
Yeah, do you guys have, like, lactose-free cheese? Like, I'm not lactose intolerant, but sometimes it gives me gas.
died out alone.
And I mean, you know, if I'm in a suit all day and there's, like, no ventilation, so, like, what happens in here stays in here, you know what I'm saying?
Pure struggle.
Hey, are you listening to me?
Our future.
Is this, like, one-way glass or something? I mean, like,
Race.
dude, hey, you hearing me? Hey.
Introduce you to humanity's child.
Basically what this guy is saying is that, hello, I'm crazy. I think the necromorphs are... I think he's basically like the Church of Unitology summed up in a person. Oh no, not this guy.
Is this the Ubermorph?
He's not called that, he's just like the regenerating.
Oh, okay, yeah. They don't show up until the second one, right?
Yeah, the Ubermorph shows up at the end of the second one. But it's same basic concept. He regenerates just like the Regenerator in Resident Evil 4. And so you can't kill him, you just have to slow him down enough to...
I think you have to touch the console.
Oh, do I have to get it?
No? Okay. Never mind.
I think we're just waiting for Kendra to, like, unlock the doors for us. Because that guy, like, locked us in.
We know that!
Yeah, I figured it out.
Get out of there! Run!
And, so yeah, this is... I feel like after I made this statement that I didn't think stasis was very useful, I keep coming up with new spots where it is useful. I don't think it's useful against, like, most of the normal enemies, but in a lot of the encounters with stronger enemies, it can be pretty useful. The good thing about this Regenerator compared to the... no, Hammond.
Kendra, is anyone there?
Oh wait, I got the force gun now.
Where the hell have you been?
I can't see my...
Bad down here.
Nice.
See, so that's where the force gun really shines.
Going everywhere. The eyes are stinging. What you see?
The good thing that the... Oh no! I might die. Yeah, I might die. Oh my gosh. Run, Isaac!
Alright, might want to heal. What were we talking about?
Bloodborne, right?
Yes.
And Dark Souls.
yes.
Like, the bosses are always really hard, but whenever you die to them, like, you know why you died. You're like, oh, I should have, you know, dodged instead of tried to attack, or, you know, I was trying to, you know, I wasn't attacking enough, which is more often the case in Bloodborne. But, yeah, just like each boss encounter feels like an actual, you know, challenge, and you have to really overcome each of them. It's not like, oh, here's an enemy with a bunch of health, and better shoot at it a lot. Which happens a lot in other games. What's one game that you can think of that you really didn't like the boss? Because like I said already, you're pretty picky when it comes to boss fights.
One game that I didn't like when it came to the bosses?
Yeah.
Like
maybe a game that you thought overall was pretty good, but just the bosses really brought it down.
oh jeez. That's hard to think off the top of my head.
Well, yeah, sorry.
But, I mean, I can give one good example. Well, like, because you know how, like, Gradius has, you know, the boss rush, right? But in Gradius, the boss rushes are a completely new array of enemies. It's
Yeah.
not what you fought before, and I like that. That's good. But there's this one game on the SNES, I believe. It's called Skyblazer, and it's a really fun game. Great platformer, wonderful music. Bosses are really nice. But the one thing that kind of got me, you know, I don't really like this is at the end of the game in the final dungeon, you have to do a boss rush. The problem is, you have to fight not all of the bosses, but a fair amount of them again. But they're the exact same. Like,
They're not even more challenging.
yeah, like they didn't do anything to like improve the difficulty. You're literally fighting the exact same bosses again.
Well, it's like I already did this.
Yeah, and it's like I can understand like Kirby. There's this Kirby game, Kirby Triple Deluxe, I believe. They did something like that where in the final stage you had to go back and fight some of the bosses you had already fought. But one thing they did to kind of make it like cool is one of the things that you can do in Kirby Triple Deluxe is you can get these like hyper fruit where like Kirby goes into like this mode where he just sucks up everything on the screen and just devours it. And cool thing they did is like you got to this room and like Wispy Woods is in there and you're thinking you're gonna fight him again, but you have that hyper fruit ability, so you just devour Wispy Woods, or no, sorry, Flowey Woods. You just devour him, and it's funny because you even eat his health bar. You eat his health bar.
You eat elements of the game's.
Yeah, and it's really cool and funny. Like in that case, that is done comically and it's done really well. Because you know you're not really fighting the boss again; they're just doing something funny.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of like a staple of a lot of the Mega Man games where you have to like fight a lot of the bosses at the end?
Yes, which in Mega Man's case, I like it because you know when you do the boss rush, you have all the abilities. So if you know all the boss's weaknesses, then when you fight them again, you know it's a little bit easier because you have the weakness. Unlike when you first start the game and like the first level you go to, no matter what you go to, you're gonna fight the boss and you won't have their weakness.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not totally okay with it, but for the most part, it's a lot better than just like...
It's done at least better to a certain degree.
Yeah, more tastefully.
Yeah, bosses are... I mean, I'm not a game designer, but I can acknowledge that boss fights are probably really hard to program and come up with. Just because it's hard to get that balance of it being,
Someone keeps shutting down the
you know,
protocol.
challenging but not
Go!
tedious, and I don't know. There's a lot of stuff trying to kill me right now. I'm getting distracted. Let's go around and pick up this extra ammo.
He's leaving.
Oh, he's leaving. Hey, I'll see you later, man.
No, he's not.
Is he back? She's like, what'd you say about me?
I heard the
The music started to get a little bit louder.
I think those
again.
are trombones or something.
Something's going on.
It's a brass instrument. I heard them like play a stinger. I was like, oh, he's back.
See, that's why music's so important in horror games.
Yeah, it gives you signs and stuff like that.
I think I was trying to say this before and I kept getting like interrupted by the game, but one thing that the Ubermorph in Dead Space 2 has over this guy is that he can come through the doors after you. This guy, once you like get through a door and it closes behind you, he can't follow you anymore for a while. And we will continue dealing with this guy in the next episode. So y'all want to come back for that? Bye.
See ya.